What's up? This is the Funday cast. More people may be dropping in or not. It doesn't really matter. I'm joined here with one of the mainstays of the Funday casts, the BS Busters cast in general, but especially the Funday cast. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. We made curator, and don't worry, we are not serving any situation.
All right. So here I am, yet another episode of BS Busters, and this one's a little bit special because we have some questions that we're going to answer, and I decided to share them. So without much ado, let's get to some of these questions first, and then we'll these questions are from K on Nintendo, and we'll each answer them. Have you ever? This is from yesterday. Have you ever played RPG fully in Japanese before?
I haven't. Besides, you can imagine how lost someone could get if you where you're supposed to go.
All right.
What about you?
No. I've never played a Japanese RPG in Japanese fully before, mostly because like RPGs by their nature require a huge amount of their story and player systems, and like you have to talk to people and stuff. And frankly speaking, like I don't know how you could play one in unless you speak Japanese or read Japanese. And the problem is that I don't read Japanese. I don't speak Japanese. I can kind of do a little bit of Romaji, which is Romanized kanji, but katakana and hiragana I can't do. So, like, it would be like someone coming up to me and say, "Hey, man, can you read the Quran in Farsi?" I can't. I don't read nor speak Farsi.
My part's in a different language to play with for our sakes.
But yeah, that's one of those. I mean, I like I said, I don't speak Japanese, so it's kind of hard for me to yeah. Our next question from K on Nintendo is they would like to hear our final thoughts on Tokyo Mirage Sessions. So you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Let's say, what was that?
Our final thoughts on Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
To me, I actually like the game.
Mm-hmm.
Though, if anything, I'm a little miffed that people are getting so upset about being censored. But I say it's a solid game, really, in the Shin Megami Tensei series.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's like I think like they built their install base for Shin Megami Tensei on the PlayStation. So I mean, like you weren't going to get a Persona game, like a straight up Persona game for the Wii U. But I mean, they put I mean, Tokyo Mirage Sessions is basically your Persona game. Okay, it doesn't have the name, but basically it is a Persona game. So, I mean,
believe it or not, they are in the name reverse.
I mean, basically, I mean, I like it. I mean, I'm not saying it's perfect, but for what it is, I like it.
I said it's a solid game.
Yeah.
I'm in Jamie at this point.
I mean, let's see. The overall thing about Tokyo Mirage Sessions is that my only thing that kind of brought it down for me was that the game was kind of short. If you knew what you like, if you're used to playing Persona games, it was kind of short, and it had weird difficulty spikes. Like if you were just like playing the game as normal, you'd be kicking people's behinds, just really beating the daylights out of them. And then you'd run into one of those specialized super enemies that are always like 5 to 6 levels higher than you. And they would wipe you out. And it's like, come on, man. You know, come on, don't do that, man.
If those guys are supposed to keep you on your feet and not get of fighting, that's a bad way to do it.
Yeah, that was my only.
Especially if you're doing a grind up to fight the beach.
Yeah, that was my only thing that.
Annoyed you?
Yeah, that was the thing that annoyed me, was just how they had that weird difficulty spike. But that was it. Aside from that, you know, that was my only real downside with Fire Emblem, or sorry, Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Sharp Buffy.
Yeah, I wasn't really angry. Like, I wasn't one of those people. This isn't a Fire Emblem game. Because here's the thing, this is the next segue to the next question from K on Nintendo. Have I played a Fire Emblem game before? Yeah, I've played almost all the Fire Emblem games, even the ones that were just in Japan that I basically had to download a patch, rip the ROM from my Famicom. Copy the ROM from my Famicom cartridge and then patch it and put it on EverDrive. Yeah, I've played almost all the Fire Emblems, and I can tell you right now, Fire Emblem, like, I liked when Fire Emblem just came every once in a while to America, because I'm about Fire Emblem out now with all the Fire Emblem we've been getting. Like, Fire Emblem Awakenings was good. Fire Emblem
Fire Emblem Awakening. Fire Emblem
Fates. Yeah, there was Fates. Fates was like, okay, that's great. I'm enjoying this. And then they did like Echo. I'm like, okay, man, it's too much Fire Emblem, man. I need a break from Fire Emblem a little bit. You know what I mean?
And that's into the Fire Emblem for mobile game.
Yeah, and then there's the Fire Emblem mobile game, and now they're doing a Fire Emblem Warriors game. I'm like, look. Give it a break.
Thank you.
Yeah, give it a break. Like, you guys have other IPs you could be working on, like 2D Paper Mario game, or Advance Wars, another Advance Wars. I would love another Advance Wars because I liked those games. I didn't like the one on the DS, World of Ruin, because it was a little, like, the art style was like not what I was used to, but
weird.
It was a little too realistic. Like, it was this dark and kind of gritty. I'm like, damn.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this was kind of a. That was kind of a, you know, because like the previous Advance Wars were all like cartoonish. I mean, it was a dark world, but it was all cartoonish and friendly and kind of super chibi. Yeah, and then you get Advance Wars DS, like War of Ruin or Ruined Life or some shit like that. I was like, this is dark as hell. Yeah,
this is not. You're fighting literally a black-colored army. Yeah,
you're fighting like zombies and bandits. I mean, it was dark. I mean, I was like, damn, Nintendo, Jesus. I mean, I shouldn't have been surprised, because if you've played other Nintendo titles always hide the darkness.
Yeah.
You know, they're good at hiding the darkness.
It depends on where you look.
Yeah, like, I would like to see, this is kind of a taste of what we'll be doing later, but I would like to see them do another Advance Wars, or maybe a Battalion Wars, but maybe take a page from those Warriors games.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dragon Quest Warriors or Fire Emblem Warriors, except make it like Battalion Wars. Like, you know, you can have units and stuff. You accomplish objectives across a big ass map, doing things, and yeah. you know, I totally play that game because I liked Battalion Wars. I had both of them. I had the one on the GameCube and had the one on the Wii. I had both of them, Battalion Wars 1 and 2, and I liked those games. And Battalion Wars 2 had a pretty damn decent online. No one really used it because no one really bought that game, but I liked it, so I got it because I'm insane like that.
And before we move in to answer the question that was at hand, my only Fire Emblem was the GBA games, and my first one is surprisingly Fire Emblem, and I swore to not go into another Fire Emblem, get through it. Through the first one I got. Oh, I'm so in the grind with that game.
Yeah, like I played. I mean, I had the ones on consoles, and then when they went to handhelds, I got those ones, which were like the first two were just remakes of the first ones, and then. I mean, I like them. I mean, I like Fire Emblem, but it's like I liked Fire Emblem when it came every once in a while. Like we've had basically almost 4 Fire Emblem games in 5 years.
I was about to say Flood.
Yeah, I'm like Fire Emblem needs a break. Okay, I know some people might say, no, look, Fire Emblem. I don't want to see any more Fire Emblem for the next 2 or 3 years. No, I don't want to see Fire Emblem. I don't want to hear from Fire Emblem. I want it to go do something else with it.
In a year's time, they're going to be crying for it.
I don't think so. Oh, snap.
And we got player 3.
Yeah, we got Mr. Man himself. How's it going, Shep?
It's been crazy, bro. I'm actually out. I'll be back in like 5 minutes. I'm on my way home right now.
Okay, man. Well, I'm glad you could pop in. We'll hold the spot for you. Okay, peace.
Appreciate it, guys. See you in a bit.
All right. So, I'm trying to stay away.
So, should we wait 5 minutes for the next question, or roll into the next one?
Sure. Yes. We can keep on going because I mean, once we get to the actual games, it's gonna be a long time. Our final question from K on Nintendo is: What is our favorite weapon in Splatoon 1?
That's mostly on my front, since I don't know if you play Splatoon that much.
I like I like the standard issue splat things. Like because they're fairly well balanced and they get the job done. I don't like. That's what I like. I know some people might get mad, but I don't care. That's what I like to. That's what I like to. That's my favorite weapon because the other weapons in the game are too specialized. Yeah, they're too specialized. Like the Charger is basically a sniper gun, but I mean, like typically speaking, if you want to one-shot dudes, you gotta friggin', you gotta have really good aim, and it takes a while. The Dynamo Roller is fun, but like you got to practice a lot with that. It's got shitty range. I mean, the range is not.
I was about to say, unless you're flashing paint, then you got bad range.
Yeah, unless you're jump shotting people, and then it's like, I mean, like I don't want to get that close to you. And then there's the same thing with the paint bucket. The splooshes, what they call. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get that close. And then there's the ink brush, which the ink brush is a cool idea, but it does so little damage. I'm like, it's basically a one-person melee weapon. You should be able to get close to someone.
Actually, they consider it in the roller
Yeah, yeah, it's a really, so basically it should have high attack just in that one area, whereas the splat roller is basically kind of like a shotgun. So why in the world does it take like 100 hits to kill someone with that thing? I'll never understand it, but whatever.
The only other weapon type is the splatling, which is the machine gun, or
Yeah, the
or
Gatling gun.
as some people joke, the heavy's minigun.
Yeah, the Splatling gun is great, except it sucks that you can't really move while using it, which is kind of
Yes, you can, but trust me when I say it'll slow you, at least when you're charging.
yeah, you move really, really slow when using it. And I'm like, look, in a game that's about moving around, like your mobility is perhaps the most important aspect of Splatoon over just, everything is about mobility in that game.
Believe it or not, I've seen people step an all strength and all speed format with their fire, and oh god, they they will go to town on you if they get the. And for me, I'm mostly the squad able to shoot from a great distance to even annoy. After all, nobody likes it, and I get rid of those happy campers.
But yeah, that's just how I felt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, most of the weapons in the game just like I like the standard issue weapon. That's what I like.
I was about to say, you're Mr. Vanilla, I'm Berry.
Yeah, generally speaking, I'm generally speaking, I just like the base weapons. The only time I don't like the base weapons is when is in PvP. I'll use like the dual the machine guns of the game. Because I like getting in close and just like dusting people off. But still, I mean, it's basically about mobility.
Well, if anything, at least if you ever need somebody to keep your sentence, I'll be there to give you some help. Just be sure that I'm not getting ganged up on, because if I'm the one that has to go back to try to make up some ground, then I know that our team had spots. I'm the one that usually tries to hold a location to let others advance.
But I think those are all the questions. I think we can get on to the main part of this podcast, which is basically we're going to pick an IP and give an in-depth analysis on how to bring it back. An IP or a franchise that hasn't seen a game in a long time, and we're like, you know what, forget it, I'm going to bring it back. So who wants to go first? I'll let you go first. You're the lady here.
Thank you very much. And if anything, we're gonna get weird looks for this one, but why not bring back with something like a customizable weapon?
What game?
That actually,
what game was it again?
I said Galaga or the scrolling side shooter series.
So like Galaga or Gradius, R-Type, stuff like that.
Yep. I mean, if you're going to style, then you could at least try to allow some cushion to give yourself some new boost in power or range that have different results. Like trying to have a wave boomerang to home in onto your foes, though it doesn't shoot as often, and well, you're likely ending up of bullet Hades.
Anything else you want to add about that?
I do have an idea of one other thing, trying to mix things up a little, like being able to switch weapons. But then again, I can only imagine the weapon types you could have if you're only stuck between two weapon styles. But I have to wonder what you for that idea.
It could work. I mean, they did it in Radiant Silvergun. Like, you basically could switch between black and red and white shift. And basically, that would basically determine what bullets could hurt you and how much damage you did to enemies. So, like, if you were in white shift, red bullets could hurt you, but you did extra damage to red and black enemies. If you were in if you were in red shift and your ship was black, you could absorb black bullets, but white bullets do extra damage to you. So basically, it was a very interesting way to, make things cool. I liked it, or at least I liked it.
Yeah, though of having two different weapons types do that will be a little bit tricky, but it could be done.
Yeah, they could do it.
There we go. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Any issues? Do I
Very
sound
loud
too
and
loud?
clear.
Oh, loud? Okay, let me turn it down. I'm using my Yeti for the first time, so.
No, you sound great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey,
Okay,
gents, so I missed what happened. What are you discussing currently?
Well, we started.
We're on the main topic after answering questions.
Yeah, we just got through questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good to go. So I've been playing Shafar amongst other things this weekend. It's been really hectic. 4th of July is either dead for me or super crazy, and this is one of those super crazy years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's no middle ground. It's either last year was a dud. We didn't really do anything. This year it's like, oh, my cousin came here. My sister-in-law is here. This person's here. My mom is in town. Go here. Pick up this person. Oh, my great-grandmother-in-law just got out of the hospital, so go visit her, make sure she's okay. It's like, oh my God. But anyway, it's TMI.
Dang, you got fireworks.
It's been bananas. And we still got 2 more days to go. Well, 3 days technically, because they always stick around at least a day after.
Yeah.
But my son got a cool.
Yo. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say my son got this super cool, like, it looks like a red Range Rover. It's like
one of those Jeeps, one of those Power Wheel Jeeps.
Yeah.
Oh man, I had one of those when I was a kid. Those things are great.
Stuff though puts our things to shame. Like, you can put your phone and plug it in the station so he can use it for his music. He has speakers in it, and he has like light up dashboards and indicator lights.
We didn't have that because we didn't have cell phones when we were kids. If you wanted to listen to music, you turned on the damn radio. Well, my parents they would put me on the sidewalk in my Power Wheel, and they get in their car and drive really slowly down with me, and I'd listen to the Tom Joyner Morning Show because that's what was on when I was.
It must be nice, man. I never had a Power Wheels. I had a cool. I thought it was cool at the time. Little yellow tricycle. Like, they had it decked out with like, it looked like this future space age tricycle thing. And then eventually, when I was 8, I got a bike. I got my first BMX, which I rode into the ground and then some.
Yeah, I didn't
Power
have
Wheels.
I didn't get a bike. No, I got a bike when I was like 8 too. No, earlier than that. But like that was the bike with the training wheels. I didn't get a real bike until I was like 8. But before then, I had like I got the Power Wheel thing. I remember when my parents got the Power Wheel thing. It was amazing because we went to the store and like this was when Kmart was worth the shit, y'all. I know everyone was
Kmart used to be
now. They're like
Kmart was the
terrible.
bomb like
Kmart
20 years ago.
Shit, yeah.
Kmart has
literally. It went straight down. Yeah, it came a long way down. But yeah, we went to Kmart and my dad's like, "Which one? Pick which one you want." I was like, "I want that one." And it was a red Power Wheel. And here's the thing: I was never hard on my toys as a kid. Like I had a radio flyer wagon, I had a Power Wheel, I had multiple bikes.
I'm so jelly of you, man.
You know.
But anyway, continue.
And then basically, this is how I knew something was wrong with me. Like how I basically like kept my toys, because like a lot of my most valuable toys I still have, and they're in really good shape because I donated like a lot of my toys to other people, and like within a week that lived near me when I was when I got older, and within a week they would tear that shit up, it'd be gone, just destroyed. I'm like, damn. That is some...
You know what? You would get along great with my son because this kid, I think he has my OCD ×2. Because he's 3 and he organizes his stuff. Like this boy takes care of his things. The only thing he's ever broken was he got a ceramic elephant from his great grandmother. But even then, it was chipped in the corners. But other than that, it's perfect.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
he has. These kids. Like, okay, great. So now I know my son's gonna grow up to be like you. I'm terrified now.
No, but I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm like, my God. I mean, how do you? I mean, that's a radio flyer. That's like one of the top brands for wagons.
Radio flyer was the bomb back in the day. Yes, it was.
It still is.
Right.
Like, radio flyer is. I mean, that's the brand. If you're a kid and you want a wagon, get your kid a radio flyer. They'll keep that stuff for years. Unless
right, because
it's someone who doesn't know what they're doing, they'll tear that shit up in a week.
Yeah, you're right. Because I forgot his tricycle is a radio flyer.
Yep.
You're right.
But I don't see. This is what happens in BS Busters. We go off topic all the time. But
it's my fault.
At least I waited for you guys.
This is Shepherd is notorious for derailing podcasts.
Yeah, we go off topic on BS Busters. Actually, any podcast that we're on, sometimes it's like we stay on time. We go off in the river, go off in the lake, go to the beach. Like, we were trying to get to the mountains. Well, we'll get there eventually. We'll run into something.
It's still there. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, but so I guess it's time for me to give my thing, or you can go, but I'll let you go, Shep. What game or franchise would you like to see brought back, and give an in-depth analysis how you do it, and details and stuff like that?
See, here's the difficulty level, because someone like me and you, we've been gaming for so long. We have at least a list of 4 to 5 games that we could do that with. I purposely said I'm not gonna go RPGs because I'm such an RPG nut that I want to do something a little different. So I've narrowed it down to either Power Stone or Turok. Right. Power Stone is the better game, but unfortunately, I could barely recall much of Power Stone because I never had a Dreamcast myself. I used to play it at my friend's house.
I played it once. So if anything,
it was like Smash Brothers, but in 3D.
It was so much fun. That game. I'm not going to talk about it today, but that is a game worthy of a proper reboot. Even if you just do a remaster, a detailed remaster with extra content, that would still be an awesome game.
Yeah, and put it on everything. I totally get it.
Like Sunset Overdrive, but not as crazy. Yeah. Actually better in many ways, but that's a different conversation. But that's my bias too, because I'm old fart. I'm probably the old. Actually, I know I'm the oldest person on this podcast currently. So yeah. Let's see. So I figured I'll go with Turok. Now, granted, I've never played the last Turok, and I never bothered to look it up. So I apologize for those who have. I believe it was on the Xbox.
But they made another one? I thought there was just 3, like Turok 1, 2, and 3, and then there was...
But the third one, wasn't the third one on 360 or the original Xbox?
Well, they did like a reboot, but that reboot was...
Because I've only played the first 2. And
yeah, they did a reboot of Turok, but it wasn't that good. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, like, see, and that's the problem. Because the concept of Turok is awesome. If you do it correctly, it's a great game. Like, everybody I know who played the first 2 Turoks had a blast. We all had our gripes, but it's Nintendo 64. It was awesome for its time, but it was also not so awesome for its time, if you get my drift.
Well, yeah. I mean, the idea behind Turok, I mean, you're a Native American going around killing dinosaurs and racist paramilitary groups, and a guy who's some Confederate general who somehow
did you ever read the comics
and weaponized dinosaurs. I mean, that's just badass.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. And did you ever read the comics? Because I used to read it when I was back in the day. But,
I read a few of them that were in Nintendo Power that were like sanitized for Nintendo Power. I was like, this is awesome.
Yep. Okay, so you read the same thing I did. Okay. I'm not gonna do much. Basically, I'm just pulling out the original 2 games and just giving more meat to it. I'm fleshing it from bottom to the top. We're gonna have more options. You're gonna have the option to be either in third person or first person mode. There's gonna be some courses going to be platforming. They're gonna up the danger level, but you're gonna have more opportunities to defend yourself. Like, basically, you're gonna get more realistic damage from the dinosaurs, but they're gonna have parts where you like increase your skills, reaction time, etc. So it kind of balances out. Because the thing is, you need more excitement. You need to get that terror of like a Tyrannosaurus just popping up in front of you, like, holy crap, I got like 0.28, like 1.2 seconds to escape before I'm ripped in half.
Yeesh.
Yeah, well, I'm exaggerating, but it's the same concept. Like, we'll have, I hate to admit it, but I do think, as much as I don't like time, I can't think of the term right now because I've been running around. Not timed events. What is it called again? They do it all the time in God of War. Motion timed event, movie timed events. Somebody save me. God of War. You know when like a Titan attacks you and you press 0, then X, then you circle around and you'll do like this over the top. Something like that, but not all the time. Just like for certain events when like you get ambushed, you have like a brief moment we have the option to use that, and you pull up like this over the top cool way of escaping and attacking the dinosaur while they run away. But I want to flesh out more the storyline. Like, I want an absurd storyline. Like, I'm talking Steam storyline. Like, it's all the awesomeness and the surrealness of the original Turok series. Apologize. I actually had a whole battle plan, and I forgot my notepad. Like, I honestly forgot all about this podcast. I was on my way home and I saw a G+ notification. Like, oh crap, it's today. But that's all I can say right now. I apologize. I'm gonna see if I can come up with some more.
Actually, I'm down with that. I'm down with everything you said, except there's one thing that you have to add. You have to give the ability. You have to have the ability for Turok to tame dinosaurs. Because
that's for part 2. That's not going to be in part 1. Yeah, because I'm rebooting the first 2 games. I don't know about part 3 in the reboot.
The general in the first game weaponized dinosaurs. So Turok has to have some type of edge. And wouldn't it be cool to like tame like 2 or 3 raptors and sick them on people? Like, look, man.
Oh, hell yes.
Guys, like, who are you gonna? Yeah, it's you. Have you thought your little? You probably use some racial slur against Native Americans. You could stop me.
Imagine.
He's like, yeah, I brought an army. What army? Well, I just killed like 5 dudes with my raptors. Get them, raptors.
What about using a raptor like Yoshi, like sprinting towards an enemy on a raptor, like say a Tyrannosaurus or a raging Brontosaurus for whatever reason, and you're sprinting mad and you just hop off the raptor and land on top of the dinosaur. So the raptor's on the bottom attacking the legs, and you're running around on top, fighting like a beast, just trying to take them out.
Yep, that would be cool. That would be. I mean, that's the thing I really liked about Turok was just like Turok had some really awesome ideas. It was good for the N64 for its time.
The concept was great. They just didn't.
The technology wasn't quite there to make it,
Yeah, exactly. And they didn't flesh it out properly because, like, I've never seen it, but I've heard that the reboot, like you said, was just abysmal.
It wasn't very good. Yeah.
Sad. A Contra is another one, but we've talked about that before. Basically, Contra with like a Metal Gears of War type engine.
Yeah,
that's basically. What I forgot. Yeah, that's what I forgot. But we'll talk about it later. I wanted to do a Contra reboot as well.
Well, we got time. I mean, this goes from 7 o'clock to 8:30, so we got time. So
I'll let you go next because I've been talking too long.
Okay then. So I guess it's my turn. The game that I'd like to see brought back, that's near and dear to my heart, and you know I'm an RPG nut because I'm insane like that, is Breath of Fire. Yep. You guys got it.
Oh my God, I was joking. Awesome. See, that's why you're my boy. That is why you're my boy. Continue.
And,
oh man, I love you right now, dude.
Continue. And not 5 or 6.
Yeah. So
not 5 or 6 because I know what those are.
Yeah, 5 doesn't exist, and there is no 6.
5 and 4. There's only the first 3 games, and 4 maybe. No, 4 was good. The first 4 games, that's it. Everything else doesn't exist. Hello?
Creak, 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 creak.
He suddenly muted his mic. That was just weird.
I think so. So we might have to cover for him.
I think his other level popped up, and he's trying to make excuses like, "Oh my baby, you're the one." You know, I'm not like that type of dude. You got to save himself, so it's all good. You know?
As I said, I think something came up, and we have to cover for him for a bit.
All right. Well, I'll let you do it because I'm notorious for talking a lot and ad-libbing and acting the fool, and I tend to overtalk everybody. So I'm gonna give you a chance to shine.
That happened before.
Or not.
I said it happened before with me. Besides, if anything, I got a real grudge against somebody for line. I mean, for being that kind of line.
I'm afraid to ask, but really that alone. Well, for the record, when I do it, it's unintentional. When I'm aware of it, I stop myself.
That's all right. I mean, if anything, I'm usually trying to work with what you guys are saying, and well, when I get deep to me, that's why I probably turn into one of those guys.
Okay, so let's briefly talk about a game. Maybe not in the same depth as what we're discussing, but a game you like in general. But maybe not a revamp, but like things you think you can tweak that would make the game better. How about that? Like a game you like, but it's not quite up to par. So you have a few ideas to make it better than it normally is.
Well, if anything, with some of the Mario sports series, like how there's really some customization of other characters, or you could some character of your own and try to go through this other sorts, and seeing your team go to victory.
Okay, elaborate, flesh it out a little bit. If we're trying to kill time, might as well make it fun, right?
Okay.
And to be clear, when you're dealing with me, I don't know, like my boy, he's really cool, but he's very anal at times. Even if it sounds weird or strange, just say whatever you think is fun and what will work. Because sometimes you hesitate because you think someone is gonna judge you. Screw it, just say whatever. If you think it's awesome, it's awesome.
For me, I should be as full as I can with as small as I can. So if anything, 50 with some of these things might be a little odd. So here goes.
Awesome, go for it. Listen, our whole community is odd. You're in the right place.
If anything, the story of trying to be either You're some normal toad that's trying to rise up in the world of sports to Koopa Bat or some former baddie trying to do some good in and all kinds of chaos going on. Like seeing some sports bots trying to replace some of those. You start leading a team of nobodies or a team of former or usual good guys, and then you get into the try to make a great team captain or like say if half the half the Mario cast was taken down by some, and they like Bowser had some robots heroes, and somehow he took down even Mario for a bit, or Mario's the one that's escaping, and you come and save the day using the sports abilities that you have, freeing everybody to Peach, to Yoshi, to even maybe or some other characters, and then work all your way up to the Koopalings, feed them in the sports game as well.
In the Mario verse, that would make sense. You know, you
hey,
use
what's up, guys?
offset in the storyline, it'd be great. Hey, what's up, Kenoshi? How are you, man?
Pretty good. How are you?
Player 4.
Not too bad.
I'm back.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Joel.
So what are you guys talking about?
Red ran away because he was trying to stop his mistress from finding out what he was doing. And then Joel was talking about revamping Mario Sports Series. And I was contemplating the meaning of life while sipping soda.
Well, I was talking about one of the Mario series that could use a revamp or like trying to have a certain character of minor importance, or make like customize one of those characters and then work them up by taking down either Bowser's minions or some.
I only have one question. Okay, just one question. Would this include football? And can I get Charging Chuck as a linebacker?
Yes.
I was gonna say depends on the sport.
Yeah, if it's football, not Mario Strikers, but like football as in American football. If I can get Charging Chuck as a linebacker, I'm good.
Oh man.
I said it depends on the sport because you would love some of those characters as certain partners.
Oh, that's a great idea. Nintendo needs to make their own version of NFL Blitz.
Yeah, but I think it'd be better than Blitz because Blitz didn't have like wouldn't it be cool to have the Marvel universe but with football in it? It would be kind of like Inazuma 11 where you go around the Mushroom Kingdom fighting other teams and like you can complete little challenges and your players would level up RPG style. So let's say Mario's your quarterback because obviously Mario's got to be your freaking quarterback because come on, he's Mr.
I wonder why we're friends, and then every now and again we have these moments of, oh my god, this dude is my ninja for life.
Yeah, clearly Mario has to be your quarterback because that's just the way things are.
Yes.
But this game could be amiibo compatible. You could totally okay, I like Mario as a quarterback, but I'm gonna put Link on the amiibo on the NFC reader. Now I got Link in the game. I can make him my quarterback. And his little special ability is if he's running with the ball, he pulls out his sword. If you try and tackle him, he can stab a dude and stun him and get him away from him for a little bit.
And here's an idea. For this main storyline, his rival will be Luigi.
Yeah.
Luigi will be corrupted a little bit because he's just jealous and frustrated with Mario. Off the rip, the key is if you go off to Luigi too soon, he'll wreck you. So you have to go through the game and get better. Because if you go at Luigi right off the bat, he's probably gonna destroy you.
Yeah, you could like have counter tackles, like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you could have like in football, you have the stiff arm to get a dude off you. Except in Mario game, it would be like attacks, and like you could there would be question blocks in the thing, so every character could hit those question blocks and get like a power up. Like Mario could get the cape feather, which would let him like fly for brief distances. You know.
You can mix in Smash Brother props too. So imagine like for whatever reason, and this will appeal to the feminist people out there. Like Peach is in the game, and somebody comes at her, she can just pull out Toad, which is so wrong, and use him as a block.
Well, I was thinking, yeah, she could pull out Toad. And I was thinking, like, the basic team you start the game with is just all Toads. Because, I mean, Toad's kind of generic.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm totally with that. I like, Toad is one of my favorite characters, but let's be real. They really are generic in general.
Yeah. They're the vanilla.
Yep. But yeah, I'm totally with that. NFL Blessed done Nintendo style, way better than the original.
Yeah,
like so much. And if anything, I did say that it could be any. It could go from football to soccer to baseball,
hockey,
whichever.
Yeah,
just a straight up all out Nintendo tournament. Like you could pick lacrosse, tennis, badminton, whatever you want to do, but it has to be a team sport though. Any team
what
sport out there.
What would a Mario Kart burnout look like to you guys?
Be
a Mario Kart burnout?
Mario Kart burnout.
Well, think about it.
If it was done right, yeah.
I see where you're going, and Mario Kart 8 has hints of it. It's hints, but like I like the idea, but I'm like, I kind of feel like they need more than just that. Or am I just being a greedy gamer again? Would you like to flesh it out more, Kenoshi?
What?
Yeah.
We're all a little greedy inside.
Good. Flesh it out for me, man.
Yeah. Because you got to sell it to us.
I like the concept. Sell it to me.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but sell it to us.
I don't know, because, the game's about, burnout's about crashing into things, right? Or, like, going really fast and crashing.
Okay, how about this, Kenoshi? You contemplate that in the meantime. When you're ready.
Okay, yeah, you contemplate that, and I'm gonna, cause my dog got me. So and that's why I had to leave. So I'm gonna bring back Breath of Fire because by God, it's about time.
Yes.
So here we go.
I can't help it. I love that game so much. Like it makes no sense how much I love Breath of Fire.
So here's the thing. Okay, Breath of Fire 5 came out and people hated it because it had practically nothing to do with Breath of Fire. It was like a real time. It was like a tactical RPG, and like your dragon transformation. Like you were on a counter.
Let me stop you for a second. For the record, I think it was a horrible idea, but at the same time, I have to commend Capcom for trying to do something different because innovation is a key for growth. They just went in the wrong goddamn direction. But I'm just saying, I gotta give them props for it. Yeah. But for the record, they made the wrong move. But at the same time, I have to commend them because one thing I've learned is, and you know this too, when you're dealing with business, every now and again you just gotta make a leap of faith. They just jump right into the spikes for some goddamn reason. But
but that's Capcom though. They start on a good path and then they run into the weeds. That's neither here nor there. Okay.
I just have to say that real quick. I have to give Capcom some type of because we're about to take a big dump on them. Continue.
Yeah, so basically what they did they did Breath of Fire 5, but to fans of Breath of Fire 5 doesn't exist. We take that and put it in its own little box. It has nothing to do with the rest of the franchise. The real meat of Breath of Fire was Breath of Fire 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are the games that really inform what we think about Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire 1 was like a traditional RPG that had a reverse difficulty curve. Like the beginning of the game is really hard, but once you get like towards the end of the game and you get Karn in your party and his weird ass transformations where he can fuse with other people in the party and become these super characters, the game gets incredibly easy. Like ridiculously easy. Like, damn, I five-shotted this boss. Breath of Fire 2 is more of the same, except they nerfed the dragon transformations. So whenever you use a dragon transformation, it uses up all of your MP. And
so this is about games for bringing. So this is about games for bringing back, or
we're basically revamping games. Yes.
Yeah, we're bringing them back. We're giving detailed information about how we're going to bring them back and what the game would be about, how we would market it, like how the game would be made, that type of thing. Like Jewel Rider gave a wonderful section about how she would bring back the sports games, the Mario sports games. But I'm doing Breath of Fire right now. But so basically, like Breath of Fire 3 was Breath of Fire 3 was like they took Breath of Fire 1 and 2, combined them together, and what you got out of it was Breath of Fire 3. On the PlayStation 1, which Breath of Fire 3 is like my favorite because it takes the best of both worlds. And then 4 was when they kind of went a little weird to me.
I enjoyed 4, but 4 was a little weird. I won't deny it.
Yeah, 4 was like, I don't really like these dragons. Don't look like dragons.
They look a little.
I mean, you've got Ryu, you've got Nina, you've got a bow analog. But I mean,
transformation was kind of cool. But
yeah, the idea was cool, but the idea in 4 was good. The gameplay was good. The battle music was really good.
The execution was a bit odd.
Yeah, and they didn't really give you an open world to explore. It was like a map, and then you'd explore little tiny maps on the overworld map, like a Super Mario World or something like that. It was weird. But I mean, each of these games had their own cool thing. So here's my idea. The game would be called Breath of Fire 6. Resurgence. I know that Capcom released a mobile game called Breath of Fire.
But there is mobile 6. But continue.
But that's not Breath of Fire. This game will be $60, and there might be expansions if the game sells well enough.
But it comes fully fleshed out.
Yeah.
It's not paying for 1 million expansion packs.
So here's the premise of the game. Okay. If you know anything about Breath of Fire, you know there's these different clans that make up the world. Like the Dragon Clan, the Light, which is divided into 2 sides, the Light Dragons and the Dark Dragons. And then you have like the Cat Clan, which is where you get like Tigra and Cat, the cat girl from Breath of Fire 2. And that dude from Breath of Fire 3, whose name I forgot, who had insane OP power.
I love them. But yeah, I'm annoyed I don't know his name because I have both versions. I got the PlayStation version and I got the PSP version.
Yeah, that dude is ridiculously OP.
And nobody uses cricket bat as well as he does.
Yeah, there's different characters.
He has a cricket bat. He has a cricket bat.
There's different classes and characters and all that cool stuff. So here's the premise. If you know anything about Breath of Fire, these clans have different jobs they're supposed to do that they were given by their gods, and those gods were given by the over gods and all that stuff. Well, the dragons are ostensibly the most powerful clan in the Breath of Fire universe, but they always wind up getting shafted by everyone else because people fear how powerful they are or whatever. Well, in this game, hundreds of years have passed, and the dragons were supposed to be powerful enough to take on this ultimate evil. But the ultimate evil struck first by getting people to try and eradicate them. And the dragon said, you know what, we're tired of saving you guys. Every time we save you, you screw us over. Or you forget what we did for you, and you wind up like being jealous of us and trying to wipe us out. So you know what, F you guys, we're leaving. So they take their little continent, which is like a small island, but not really, because in the grand scheme of things, it's actually like a small continent and not like an island. And they say, forget you guys. We're going to use our dragon magic. We're going to open a rift and take our homeland and leave. You guys are on your own. Screw you guys. I'm going home, basically. And so
taking my ball. I'm going home.
Basically, yeah.
Exactly. I'm taking my ball. Screw you guys.
Yeah, screw you guys. I'm going home. And so they leave. And the only thing is that there's all these half dragons who can't quite make it because they don't have the ability to transform, or they couldn't make it to the ending. A lot of them did, but some of them don't, and they're left behind by accident. And the only real pure dragon left who stays behind is the dragon who guards the gate to basically their new world. And he's this big badass black dragon who's like. He's Gandalf on steroids. You shall not pass.
Yeah, he's Gandalf and Heimdall combined, basically.
Yeah, he's Smaug, Heimdall, Gandalf, and the Balrog from Lord of the Rings combined. Except He's a dragon, which is more badass.
That is so awesome.
So not only have they hidden the gate, this dragon is fucking guarding the gate. Well, meanwhile, another 400, 500 years pass, and technology moves forward. And but here's the thing: the dragons naturally, by their very presence, help to regulate the flow of magic and let it continue to be useful in the world of Breath of Fire. Now that they're gone, there's no one to really use. Like, the magic isn't being produced, so spells are beginning to fail, and people, like countries that used to depend on magic, can't use their magic. So the Windia, the kingdom of magic, is dying. Like the clans that used to have magical abilities, their bloodlines are going dormant. Like, and even the evil bad guys, they can't use their magic anymore because the magic has been disrupted.
Wait, hold on. Before you continue, take my money. Okay, continue.
So basically, here's what happens. This evil empire that basically is unknowingly, they're working for the main bad guy who wants to eradicate the dragons, take over the world. They come to the realization that while most of the dragons are gone, some of their descendants are left. And so they can turn these people into magical batteries and take their vitality while powering their magical doodads and weapons and stuff like that.
Foul, but that's awesome at the same time.
So they start kidnapping those who are left and using this weird breeding program, which is kind of the ones that they have the strongest bloodlines are bred, and their children are used as batteries. The ones who kind of have a strong bloodline, but they're not good breeding stuff, they just turn them into batteries immediately. And eventually, but even though this is not a solution, because the Dragon Clan breeds really slowly, so they're still running out of magic, just at a much slower rate. And they managed to basically take over. Yeah, they basically managed to take over a lot of the world until there's very few people with the dragon bloodline left, and those that do are incredibly weak. Like they can barely turn into a whelp. And that's where our game begins, with this character and his father running away from these Imperial enforcers. And his father has some of the dragon bloodline, but he has just enough to turn into a whelp, which he uses to just decimate this squad. But they have one of their high Imperial enforcers there who manages to grievously win the father. And the father's he's out of the fight, and this guy's we can sense the son has the bloodline, but it's so weak, it's like he's just a normal human. And the father manages to rouse himself to do a desperation rage attack, and he grievously wounds the guy. But his son is thrown off the edge of this cliff into this raging river and is washed away. And the father basically he loses it at that and uses a suicide attack, which he basically. He wounded the enforcer really badly before, but now that the guy is damn near dead anyway. He's going to show up again later on in the game, don't worry. But he's going to be all jacked up for the rest of the game. It's going to be great. So the son winds up being washed away in this raging river in the middle of this weird island that appeared one day that no one can really go into because like anyone who's tried to explore it, like they can't make it. They never show up again, or if they do come back, they're all like they die a few days later. And the kid washes up in front of this cave, and that's where he meets the last black dragon, like the one who's guarding the gate that leads to this alternate reality, this alternate world that this pocket universe that the dragon said, "F you guys, we're leaving," went to. And he sees that this kid has the dragon blood in him, but it's like really weak. And the black dragon is like, well, shit, I was not, I was not prepared for this. And he asked the kid what's going on. Once the kid like wakes up, and the kid's badly hurt, and like he finds out what's going on in the world, and he's like, well, that explains it, because the black dragon comes to the realization that the reason the dragons in the pocket universe, their bloodlines have been atrophying and going down, is because they left the world they're supposed to be in. And the reason the magic of the world is not accessible and is leaving the people of that world is because the dragons left. So basically, the black dragon realizes, I can't guard this gateway anymore, and my life force is tied to the gate being closed. So as long as I'm alive, the gate stays closed. So I'm gonna have to basically sacrifice myself. I'm gonna have to sacrifice myself, and but even if I sacrifice myself, like the dragons on the other side have lost a lot of their abilities and powers, and like it's a catch-22. So he comes up to the solution that he's gonna sacrifice himself and use his pure black dragon bloodline to basically awaken the bloodline within this little kid who at this point has black hair. He's all he's got a scar on his head, but it's it's Ryu, but it's not Ryu. And he sacrificed himself. He does this, and what winds up happening is that he turns into a normal-looking human. The black dragon does, but he's not like overpowered or anything. And the kid gets the blue hair that we know from all the Breath of Fire games. He becomes Ryu. And he's got a pure dragon bloodline now. And he's like, oh shit. Now I'm being tasked to save the world and restore what's been lost. Hint, hint. The game is about restoring what was lost, Capcom. So basically, like, so basically from there you go into this alternate dragon world, and you unite you open a gate a doorway on both sides so that magic can begin to flow. So magic begins coming back at a decent rate initially, and then you eventually bring the dragon continent that was taken away, that they basically hid in their little pocket, and was back.
No, to be clear, sorry to interrupt, but I want to be clear on this. Now, are dragons used as filter? Like, there's a world that should produce magic, but the magic is unattainable unless it's for the dragons, or dragons themselves create the magic that's filtered to everybody else?
Dragons filter it out so that it can be used. It's like a natural process.
So
it's like trees produce, plants produce oxygen. Yeah.
Gotcha. So without the dragons,
it's like
the magic is so raw, it's hard for anybody else to process it.
Well, yeah, exactly. They can't even use it unless the dragons are there. They didn't know that, though.
Okay.
They didn't know that at the time. So basically, dragons come back, and here's where you get the awesome, kick-ass city building thing that you've had in like all the other Dragon Quest games. That awesome stuff that we like, where you can go around. Except it's not a city building. It's not town building. No, you're rebuilding an entire goddamn continent. Like you can get people to come live on your port cities. You can recruit shops. You can recruit merchant companies. You can recruit.
Right here.
Yeah, you can recruit all that stuff. And these people actually have realistic things. Like if you recruit a guy who owns, if you recruit an airship caravan company, and then you weaponize some of those airships, you can actually use that as a special command during battles to have them bombard enemies. So you can, like, if you're outside and you're fighting a tough battle, it's like, oh shit, these dudes are gonna kick my ass. Wait a second, no they aren't. Drop the bombs, and stuff like that. I always thought that could be cool. So basically, that's where the game. That's where the game really. That's where you get the town building aspect, the economic aspect of it. Battle would be, we're going old school turn based because I mean, come on, why not? You have HP, MP, and TP. Some attacks use magic attacks use MP. Physical attacks use TP, which is technical points. Makes sense. And some attacks use all three. Like they use a portion of your HP, your MP, and your TP. Dragon transformations use MP and TP. And your character basically, as you become more powerful, they initially they learn Dragon Summon, where they can summon a version of a dragon, and then Dragon Fusion, where they can fuse with that version of the dragon for a brief period of time.
Increase their stats for a risk.
Well, not so much a risk, but like, yeah, it's like your character fuses with a blue dragon whelp to gain the ability to shoot lightning breath. But it's like the weakest lightning breath. But it's more powerful than the summon because it's fusing with your character. So your character's stats are added to that. And then you finally get Dragon Transformation, where your character turns into, you know, a whelp, but it's your stats. So like the dragons, as you do the economic thing and their ability to produce magic and absorb the natural magic of the world is increased, they regain their abilities. But you also get more powerful as the game goes along. You know, the weapons, every character has 2 or 3 weapons. They're field commands, so you have characters who, you know, I'm a hunter. I can hunt shit on the ground. You know, Ryu can still fish. You know, it has the usual tropes that we know and love. I'm thinking maybe 8 to 12 playable characters, because I like that.
Take my goddamn money.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. We need to pitch this shit.
But yes, I think the game would culminate with maybe like, I don't know, like the hidden mode that would really kind of bring everything together would be bring back the trainer system.
I only have one beef with this.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's because I've been, like yourself, we've been playing RPGs for so long.
Mm-hmm.
This whole concept is like fantabulous. Like I can almost, I enjoy it way too much. However, if anybody who's been playing RPGs as long as we have, a lot of your ideas are, even though it's beautiful, it's kind of predictable. You need a curveball in there. It's something in there that you don't see coming. Like everything you've pointed out is awesome, but it's been used before. So even if it's been used before, is there something that's new? Like you need a curveball, like something like a mechanic that's been changed, or a whole new mechanic altogether. You know what I'm trying to say? Like everything needs that quote unquote gimmick, if you will. Like maybe there's a way where you can find a penultimate form, but if you screw it up, you can easily just become this ultra weak, get wrecked, or
God,
you need something.
Well, I mean, that's
well, I'm not saying that.
I was gonna get to that. I was gonna get to that.
Okay.
If people would, okay, there is in the game, we are bringing back the shaman system, but there's a chance that if you can create weird, except we have more shamans than we've ever had before. Like in the past, in Breath of Fire 2, you had like maybe 12 shamans. F that. We're going with 36. And here's the thing. We have different, like, you can create different versions of, different elemental versions of characters. And, however, you can also create weird, twisted, mutant abominations that shouldn't exist.
Okay.
Because that's
you still have me. Continue. Because that's what I'm saying. You always need something that's completely different from the other games. But it has to be good. For example, frustrating at times too. You can't make it be perfect.
Well, for example, you could use the Amazon Shaman and fuse that with the Amazon Shaman, the Life Shaman, and fuse that with our monkey character who's like Sten from the old games, but you know, with a tail. Or without a tail, it doesn't matter. Either with a tail or without a tail, it doesn't matter. And they become like a King Kong type gorilla, and their physical attacks go up, but their mentality goes down. So like magic attacks do more damage. Or you could create a weird monstrosity.
Dragon Ball Z Ozaru form, basically. Continue.
Yeah, basically. Or you could totally fuse the giant Amazon with the metal giant shaman with the metal shaman, and create a Mecha Kong monstrosity that has like like 4 arms with rocket launchers on the chest and all that type of weird stuff. The choice is yours. And I mean, the thing is that, like, I'm a fanboy for Breath of Fire. We haven't had one in years. Capcom has been effing up big time on a lot of different stuff, and I really love Breath of Fire, and I want to see it brought back.
I think that's why so many fans are pissed at Capcom, because they have some of the best goddamn IPs on the market, and they're just messing it up. They're blue balling so many fans.
I mean,
Capcom
this is what
one of the few.
like.
See, what pisses me off the most about Capcom is they could technically rival and even beat Nintendo. Because one thing I get, I admit it, I'm a Nintendo fan, but I'm not only a Nintendo fan, I'm a gaming fan first. One of the reasons I like Nintendo is, kiddie or not, they cover almost every single genre. Capcom is one of the few companies that covers every single genre. The problem is they've been sitting on their butts making garbage.
Yeah, that's
the
thing.
They got platformers, they got RPGs, they got fighting games, racing games.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They could technically rule the market
if they knew how to use their IPs correctly, but they don't.
Yeah, they could dominate right now.
I was gonna say
it's either them not using their IPs correctly or them not using their capital to fund their IPs correctly.
I say the money in the wrong places.
I say both in a sense, because when they pull off certain things like getting certain games into casino machines, then you got a problem. And how they
that's what Konami and Capcom did the same thing.
That's another pain.
Yeah, Konami's another one. Oh my god! But anyways,
so how they
Sorry about that. Make sure you click on this video.
Sorry, Kenoshi, you were starting to say something and you kind of stopped.
Oh, I said sorry about that. I accidentally clicked on the video. If you heard anything in the background, I accidentally clicked on one of the videos.
Oh, I thought you was contributing to what we were talking about. That's why everybody kind of stopped.
Yeah, we thought we were gonna listen. But the thing that gets me though is that Capcom, like I said, they have a lot of really good IPs that they haven't really been using. They've been focusing on the fighting games and Monster Hunter, basically. And occasionally they'll drop something. Yeah, because, I mean, look, they have Final Fight. They have a lot of other fighting IPs that they could really be pushing. They have Breath of Fire. They have Lost Planet.
Breath of Fire, Power Stone, Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Fighting Vipers.
More that I can
think games that could give them some money and revitalize and refresh their brand.
We need to get Okami 3.
Well, it's not just about
friggin'
it's not just about making. It's not just
Beautiful
about
Joe.
making money. It's also getting the resources and the creativity to actually.
But that, we know what you're saying, and I agree. The problem is, I think what happened along the way is they got so greedy that they stopped realizing. They forgot that creativity. They're going to pull it in quite the way they want to, but creativity pulls in more money.
Look,
every time they bought it to be creative, like Resident Evil at one point was one of the best games of its genre ever, and now people are looking at Resident Evil like,
meh, yeah.
Seriously?
And Revelations was bringing it back, and then they screwed Revelations up too.
Yeah, here's what they need to do, and here's what, in my mind, what they could do to really bring back some of their IPs. Capcom could. What's it called? Let's see. Okami. Okay, look. We all know that no one at Capcom really knows how to do.
Sorry.
Yeah, they don't really know how to. So here's what I propose. Okay, we know that Platinum Studios is what's the word? They're independent. Okay, and I know that that Hideki Kamiya is like, yeah, we'll never work. He really didn't like Capcom, but if Capcom said, look, we're gonna give you like $500,000 or $250,000, or no, we'll give him $500,000.
No, give him like $200,000 off the bat and a percentage of the profits.
Capcom wouldn't do that because they're greedy. They're greedy. They're greedy.
Yeah. Sorry, go back to what you're saying.
They said, we'll make you look. If they said, here's Okami. Make an Okami sequel, like a full-on. We'll give you a decent budget. Make an Okami sequel. We'll put it on PC, consoles, like everything. You could not tell me. No, on everything. PC, consoles. Okay, except handhelds, because I mean, Okami really is a console experience. Like, it doesn't feel right.
But that's what I said. Sorry, mobile cell phones as well as handhelds. Sorry.
So yeah, but aside from that, boom. Or if they said, "Hey guys, we want to make a Beautiful Joe 3."
Oh my god,
I get that.
Stop playing with my. We can't do this episode because you keep playing with my feelings, bro.
Hell, I'll even take another God Hand, even though that game was weird. Like, really, really.
No. Weird or not, the concept was beautiful. I don't care what anybody say.
Yeah, the concept was good. Yes, it was just
awesome.
Yeah, it was just a little too weird for me. I was like, okay. Just some of the animations you did when you use your special attacks on enemies was just weird. But aside from that, it was good.
I mean, I'm not saying you did
That's
it
the thing
right.
about platinum games.
You gotta rock the boat, man.
Yeah, they're always kind of weird. That's just how they are. But yeah. So,
True.
And I realize it's a resource thing. Because Capcom just doesn't have, like, the reason we haven't had a Mega Man game is because there's no one at Capcom who could make Mega Man games like people wanted.
Okay, dude. I forgive you for Breath of Fire because you gave an awesome idea, but why'd you have to bring up Mega Man?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I don't
it's
think...
one of the key things that everybody knows Capcom for.
Yeah, here's the thing.
I know, but he's hurting my soul at this point, man.
But they could totally bring back Mega Man. All they'd have to do is contract out NT Creates to make it, because we know they could do Mega Man, because they did the Mega Man Zero games, and those are basically Mega Man games.
And they also did a Zora Striker, which is basically Mega Man with different characters.
Yeah, I mean, they know how to make Mega Man games. So just let them do it. They could totally do a Mega Man game. I would love that shit. I would love. I'm a Mega Man fanboy, so.
Hello?
But that's it.
It got quiet
again.
I thought someone else was gonna say something. I mean, this is we are resurrecting old IPs. Now, Kanoshi, have you finally thought up how you would bring back how you would pitch a Fast and Furious crossed with Mario Kart, which is what you essentially were talking about?
No, but I thought of something else. I was taking a nap today and had a dream about a weird fighting game that involved a projectile type weapon that you would have a certain amount of projectiles, which would cause chip damage to your opponent, and then during the firing of each projectile, the chip damage that your opponent would take, you would launch a series of attacks that would, depending on if the bullets would hit, would increase certain abilities or allow you to use certain abilities while shooting. So I have no idea what doesn't use any kind of known characters. It's just something I have a dream about.
Okay. I can see that. I can see that. But for the record,
that sounds like Battle Colors.
Okay, not bad, but Kanoshi, man, when you pitch an idea, you gotta put some feeling behind it. Like, you were almost like falling asleep as you're talking about it. You gotta make us feel excited. You gotta make us want to be all in. You know what I mean? Like, here, let me give you a pitch. Let me give you an example pitch. Contra. Okay, the original Contra started all the way to the beginning. have a revamped Gears of War engine. Need to jump, boost the weapons, make the whole thing a touch more chaotic. Boom! You just made like, and I'm being late. This is a lazy example, but just that alone will make one of the craziest 3D Contras ever. It will be so awesome. Am I wrong?
No, that sounds badass. Here, let me take a stab at it. A 2D Contra game made by Treasure. It would be like a weird fusion between Gunstar Heroes and traditional Contra. But here's where it gets cool. You would have like the game would be more of a Metroidvania in that instead of like playing through levels, you would have a central hub level, and then you have to like go to new areas, and as you get new abilities, these like new areas would open up, and you could like rescue people. Like, so you'd have multiple playable characters, and you'd switch between them, and they had different abilities. Like, you'd have Bill and Scorpion or Mad Dog and Riser, but then you'd have the Probotectors from the European version of Contra, which are like cyborgs. Maybe they have like a double jump because they have a jetpack. And like you basically would have these characters, and here's the cool thing: like Gunstar Heroes, you could actually carry two weapons at once and combine the features. So like you could have homing with crush bomb, so it
Nice.
like did more damage. You could have like flamethrower and plasma, so it would have better range. And I mean
Then
that
we
would be
have to
cool to
increase,
me.
like, we have to increase the difficulty though. So even though you can still wreck, they still keep you on your toes.
Well, I mean, okay, because we want to get new people into it. You'd have to have an adventure mode with like a life bar, and you take so many hits. But for people who want hardcore, we can go old school mode: one shot, one hit, one.
Okay, I'm with that. So you have the option of the normal mode, where basically you can accrue a couple of hits. You know, you can heal yourself and keep it moving, and then you have hardcore old school mode where you only have one
One
hit.
shot and it's over.
No, we'll give them, even the old school guys, we'll give them like if you could find an item, there's only once per stage. If you
You get a flak jacket.
You can take one extra
and it hits you,
One
and the
extra
flak
hit.
jacket pops off your character, and that was your one hit.
Exactly. So instead of dying on the first hit, you get 2 hits. Okay, I'm totally with it. That's perfect.
That would be a great game. I would play that. And I mean, hell, I'd take another Gambare Goemon.
Oh,
Okay. Well, if you're gonna go that route, we could take. How about this? We'll revamp the engine, of course, but let's bring Final Fight back. Or we could Double Dragon, whichever you prefer.
Do a crossover. Final Fight cross with Double Dragon. And throw Captain
And we have
Commando
a
in there, too.
modified God of War engine. We're not talking about just talking about the third person perspective, where you got a massive battlefield with a bunch of enemies.
So it would
Basically,
be
it's almost like not a Heroes game.
a Warriors game.
Warriors game. There you go. So you basically take Double Dragon and Final Fight and use a Warrior engine,
That would be interesting.
but with an actual storyline. Don't get me wrong. Warrior games do have a storyline, but it's kind of light.
I would like
opinion.
that. I would like that. Well, I mean, Dragon Quest Heroes 2 has a pretty good storyline. The
I
first
gotta
one
pick that up
wasn't
on
that good.
PS4.
I got it on PC. I got it on PC a few days ago.
Well, I already know how you roll. I already know you had it on PC. You didn't even have to say that to me.
Yeah, but yeah,
I
Dragon
don't blame
Quest
it for the
Heroes is
record.
great. I love it. How's it going, Contrarian?
hi.
What's up?
Sorry, I was just preparing for.
Pokemon like a sir. I see.
Yeah.
This top hat. It's like gentleman poison toxic bug.
Gentleman Scolipede.
Yeah. I say, sir. Harumph.
I do say I will poison you twice. No, thrice even.
Harumph. Gentlemen do not. Watch that.
This is the avatar of a dear friend of mine from Discord. He actually draw this one, so shout out to him.
That's cool, man.
Anyway, I'm kind of pissed today because my PS4 kind of broke.
It died.
So
That's a shame, man.
Let's be real. It's a PS4. Piece of shit 4. That is what it is. I mean, look at it twisted. I mean, I got a PS4. I love my system, but let's be real. Sony has been.
It feels kind of cheap.
but
It feels kind of cheap,
What's
doesn't
up?
it? It feels
It feels kind of cheap.
Yeah, the quality doesn't match the price. Let's be real.
yeah, it was something of a damaged heat modulator. It supposedly is kind of a common problem in the first
Let's say,
generation.
did you have the launch system? Okay, you had a launch system. That makes sense.
Because I kind of bought the PS4.
At launch? You bought it at launch?
Bro,
I think you
you
could
know the
have.
golden rule. Outside of Nintendo, never buy any system at launch.
Yeah. Like I would tell anyone, if you're gonna get a system, now is the best time to get a PS4 because you can get them used at
Get a
GameStop for
PS4
like
now, get an Xbox One
$200.
now.
Yeah, you can get a brand new one for $250. Well, plus tax, so $275, but still, that's pretty decent.
And for the record, this is my recommendation. Xbox One S is the Xbox One to buy right now.
Yeah, not a triple
Also,
Xbox. Yeah.
Not the original Xbox One, Xbox One S.
Yeah.
That's the one to buy. Everything
They
else
don't
is
even
wasted
make
money.
the original Xbox One anymore. I mean, there's still tons of them in factory.
I was going to say,
warehouses.
dude, they're still out there. Yeah, I was gonna say, they're still out there, dude.
They can't pay people to take those damn things, but yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, because I mean, I don't know that. So Kenoshi, you get one more chance. Pitch a game and sell it to us. Really sell it to us.
No. Wait, hold on. He's been struggling. Let's talk to Contrarian and see if he has an idea. If he's
Okay,
going to
you
pitch.
can close it out.
If he
You can close
can't-
it out, Kanosh. Yeah.
If he can't, we
Contrarian,
give it to Kenoshi.
pitch us a game and sell it to us. With
We're
details.
revamping games, if you're not aware.
Yeah. I think his mic is jacked.
He
well.
got screwed. Contrarian was his safety line, and he didn't bother to pick up. Go for it, dude.
Hello.
Okay,
Oh,
now he's back. Okay then, Contrarian, you're going to have to pitch us a pitch for a revamped game that you could bring back. Go.
I want a Nintendo versus Capcom game. That has been an idea that people have wanted for a long time, and it will be awesome to have like a Marvel versus Capcom style Nintendo characters versus Marvel character game.
So would it be like Smash Brothers or would it be like Street Fighter?
Exactly. I was about to ask him, what version are you going to use? Are you going to use a Smash Bros. engine, or are you going to use a Street Fighter?
I want a Street Fighter one to see how Nintendo characters can pull like ridiculous super moves.
All right, that sounds cool actually.
Because I'll be honest, I had this dream. Like, this was a dream.
I had a dream. Sorry.
Like this was a dream idea of mine when I was young, when I was like in high school, and Capcom was at the PS2 days. And I always wanted like that crossover to be a reality because Nintendo and Capcom used to be my two favorite companies.
What crossover?
Yeah, and Capcom.
What do you want?
It's a Capcom Nintendo crossover. Basically, it's Smash Brothers with Capcom characters, but with Street Fighter engine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, but sadly, Capcom is in a really shit state these days. So, Capcom.
Well, there are rumors that Capcom and Nintendo were working on a game together. Somebody made up a rumor. There's a Nintendo cross Capcom thing.
Okay, how about this?
I don't know.
Let's
about
take
Nintendo
Soul
cross
Calibur
Capcom
and revamp it.
Yeah, I would like to see Soul Calibur. I would like to see another Soul Calibur. And you could even make it kind of like how it was during Soul Calibur 2 days where you have different versions for different consoles with different like special guest characters. But I would like to up the quota. Instead of just one guest character.
3
guest characters.
Sorry.
Nah, man. 7. Each one gets 7 guest characters. So I'm gonna do Microsoft first because it would be the hardest.
You have to remember, programmers are lazy
would get,
these days. You're being
Microsoft
selfish. Programmers are lazy.
Microsoft would be the hardest because Microsoft has the least amount of characters, but we can remedy that by adding characters from IPs that they stole from Rare. I mean, they got from by buying Rare and running it into the ground. So you would have 3 Battletoads. You would have Master Chief and the Archon. Not the Archon. Shit, I forgot the guy's name.
Arbiter.
In the Arbiter, yeah. Voiced by
You
Keith
must be
David.
talking about Arbiter, yeah.
Yeah. Bring. Basically, I like the Arbiter more than like Master Chief because Keith David's voice is just awesome. If you're a man, you'll grow hair on your chest and grow like 6 inches taller just listening to that man talk.
That's a little bit creepy. I mean, it's a little creepy, but I do agree with you.
No, because the man's voice is just dripping with testosterone, and testosterone makes you manly. You grow a beard. It's like I let my 5-year-old nephew play this game, and he grew a beard. He's got a beard. Look at him. He's got a beard. But and the last 2 characters would be let's see. I'm gonna add Spinal from Killer Instinct because he looks like he could totally fit in the Soul Calibur universe.
I was going to say, Soul Calibur, you could easily pull in Killer Instinct. Like, we need a universal Soul Calibur. You got to pull in a little bit of everybody. Like,
and Tusk.
What I was originally going to say, besides Soul Calibur, was not Tenshin Budokai. I was trying to remember the name. I'm annoyed that I forgot the freaking name. It's a fighting game with swords. It's the same thing as Soul Calibur, but completely different. Tenshin Budokai. It begins with T. Huh?
Samurai Showdown?
Not Samurai Showdown. It's a 3D game. It has give me a bit of a Fatal Fury vibe, but it's 3D and it's
I know what you're talking about. It's
I'm mad because I know the name, but I can't think of it right now.
It was on the Battle Arena Toshinden.
Battle Arena Toshinden would be beautiful right now. If you can fully flesh out like if you could merge Battle Arena Toshinden with Soul Calibur and add extra elements, that'd be like the ultimate 3D fighting game involving weapons.
Yeah, it would.
I mean, well, no. I'm a little annoyed you said, yeah, let's be real, bro. If they did it right, you would be busting a nut right now. Pardon my language.
Probably, I wouldn't take it that far because, I mean,
I'm exaggerating.
Battle Arena Toshinden for me was always like second tier to Soul Calibur. Just because Soul Calibur had the 3D fighting sphere a little bit more down, whereas Battle Arena Toshinden was like, it was 3D environment, but still 2D.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's Battle Arena Toshinden. I'm saying I'm merging those 2 together with extra elements.
That'd be cool.
The good parts of Battle Arena Toshinden merging with what's great about Soul Calibur plus extra content. Let's be real. Any fan of any kind would enjoy that. Am I wrong?
Yeah. I mean, I know I would, but
I'm not saying it's a perfect game, but it would be very enjoyable if they executed it correctly.
Yeah, that would make it even better. But for I don't know, for let's see, what could I say for the PlayStation? Since I said 7 characters, I'm gonna go with who the 7 characters that I would like to see on PlayStation.
Well, let's make it 8 because I like 8 and 8 turns sideways Infinity, and Infinity is awesome. So call it Soul Calibur Infinity.
I was thinking
Cloud should be on. Cloud should probably be on PlayStation since it's like a big iconic character.
Well, it's hard.
I
Obviously,
know
Kratos is going to be in because Kratos is,
Yeah, but Final Fantasy.
And then we gotta balance it out. Basically, everybody needs a buff because they can. If Kratos goes in, he'll wreck just about everybody.
Final Fantasy
we can't have that.
a lot of people who are, I know what you're gonna say, but it is synonymous with PlayStation. Like when most people think of Final Fantasy, they think of 7. I'm purely thinking of marketing reasons, not
You already know, Mr. Red Fox and myself, how we feel about 7, but continue.
Yeah, I'm merely thinking of marketing reasons, not
Yeah.
not necessarily desire, but Kratos should most definitely be in there.
Well, I was trying to find characters who actually would fit in the Soul Calibur universe and who Sony actually owns. That's a very short list. So it would have to be Kratos, Daxter as one character, Ratchet and Clank as one character.
Well, then we need to pull in X-Men before Marvel gets it back. we have Omega Red.
They can't add. Well, no, I mean, but we're saying Sony characters, so like the only character they could probably use is maybe Spider-Man. But why would you put? I mean, like the thing is, Soul Calibur is about people.
Fox has that.
Yeah, Sony's like Soul Calibur is about people who use weapons, and I don't want characters in Soul Calibur who don't use weapons. So sorry, Heihachi from Soul Calibur 2, you got to get out of here because you're using your fists, and I know your fists are weapons, but we mean swords and like kunais with chains, stuff like that.
Like, pardon the pun, the soul behind Soul Calibur is weapons.
Yeah, so it's like Samurai Showdown. It would be weird if you were playing Samurai Showdown and the dude's using his fists and kicks and stuff like that.
Perfect. We could work out a deal. We could pull in a few soul. Anyway, continue.
But I mean, I'm trying to find 2 more characters. You know what? Forget it. We're gonna do what Sony did before and just add 2 characters who Sony doesn't own, but they pay to be in there, like with their shitty fighting game. Their Smash Brothers knockoff.
Let's be clear, bro. Soul Calibur, correct me if I'm wrong. Last time I checked, Namco owned it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Namco Bandai.
Yes.
Worst case scenario, we could put in a bunch of anime characters because Namco Bandai owns almost every single anime character ever. We could have, I know you may not like it, but we could bring in like One Piece. We could bring in Naruto. We could bring in like.
Well, if they're doing that, then they need to. If they bring in the character for One Piece, then it needs to be, of course, the sword of One Piece.
Zoro, I will kill.
Yeah, exactly. It's weapon users. If you're not a weapon user, you're not in the game. I don't care how awesome you are without weapons.
From Naruto, I would say that weird guy who looked like a shark who had the massive broadsword.
Oh yeah, Yep, and we could also use the 8 Tails user. He uses 8 swords. I forgot his name right now. He raps all the time.
Killer B. Yeah.
We could also use. Yeah, we could use. I hate him. I admit it. I hate Sasuke, but he's a great weapon user.
Fuck Sasuke. I hate him.
I hate him.
Yeah, I hate Sasuke. I hate him. And I know I just said I don't want weapon users, but if you give him some nunchucks, he'd be perfect. Rock Lee.
That's a mighty guy. Yeah, Rock Lee, mighty guy. Yep. Well, then we gotta use Tenten. Tenten would rock it if you train it properly.
Actually, I have a confession to make.
People sleep on Tenten.
I have a confession to make. Sasuke is the character that made me hate both tsundere and emo characters.
No, the reason I hate Sasuke. No, go ahead.
The thing about Sasuke is like you get girls' attention because they'll have a husbando, they'll have a husbando.
The reason I hate Sasuke is because he's he's a useless character as a rival to Naruto.
He's a plot device.
His actual character itself is lacking. His abilities is on par. The personalities.
Yeah, the conflict between the 2 characters is totally manufactured because the whole point behind Sasuke and Naruto isn't because they hate each other. It's because Sasuke wants to destroy the village that Naruto is from. But here's the thing. Naruto's a ninja first before all this other shit, which means the end of Naruto Shippuden should have been him killing Sasuke because, he wants to be the Hokage of the village. The first thing you learn is that sometimes you got to put things above, all this other shit because your job is to protect the village. And Sasuke wanted to
your feelings is secondary to loyalty to your village, exactly.
Yeah, that should have been the end Shippuden should have been him just killing Sasuke. Like, and here's the thing: once you find out the true story behind those bastard ass Itachis, really, they got what was coming to them, bastards. You know, I mean, the only loyal Itachi there was Sasuke's brother. The rest of them were traitors. So, I mean, hell, that was
sorry I haven't been talking much in this podcast. I was looking at the league roster for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Man, watch that stuff. You'll rot your brain.
Thank you for reminding me.
That game is so ugly looking. I'm not.
Stalkers is rumored to be on the game, and he's one of my favorite Capcom characters. If that's true, I'm going
to. I will be honest. One thing I have to say is truthful in how I feel. I may say stupid stuff, I may say smart things, but I'm always honest in that moment. When Infinite was first revealed, I was hype. I saw Mega Man X.
So
I was like, yes.
Yeah, I was hyped too.
But then once my brain processed who made the game, I thought about a bunch of other stuff. I'm like, let's see what happens.
Yeah, for me, when it was first announced, I was like, this is going to be awesome. And then, see, here's what happens. Capcom makes something that's awesome. They announce something that's awesome. Like, this
turn it into dung.
And then the more time
like, you know what?
the worse it gets.
Let's take a dump on this, which is why we call it Crapcom. Let's be real. Most fans these days call it Crapcom because it starts out beautiful, and then they take a crap on it and expect us to be like, this is so awesome. Like, no. If you have a masterful
here's the thing that bugs me the most.
You have a perfect set.
The ones that can really harm them the most are gamers like
a small lump of crap in there. Are you still gonna eat it?
Yeah, well, I mean, with Capcom, here's what it feels like when Capcom announced Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. It felt like someone says, "Hey, you're having a birthday party. We're gonna throw a party for you." It's like, yeah, this is great. And then you find out more details about the party as time goes on. It's like, well, no one here knows how to cook, but we're going to make you a cake. Oh, we ran out of sugar, so we're going to use salt instead. Oh, so this frosting is supposed to be sweet, but we ran out of sugar, so we're going to use salt. Oh, you wanted pizza?
Like,
well, no one here is going to go spring for pizza for you.
So we ran out, so we're going to use mayonnaise instead. Like, wait, what?
We're not gonna spring for pizza. So we're gonna make it. We're gonna make a homemade one. Oh, we don't have any cheese. We're just gonna use some mayonnaise instead of cheese. Oh, we don't have any ketchup. Oh, we don't have any pepperoni. We're gonna get some tofu pepperoni.
Like one of the things that
you just made me feel sick.
And
like one of the things that bothers.
I really don't want to go to this party anymore.
Like when I say the game is ugly, like I'm not really even talking about graphics. I'm just talking about art style.
Well, I mean, I don't know who the hell that is who's supposed to be Chris Redfield, but that's not Chris Redfield. That's Chris Redfield's stunt double. That's Chun-Li's stunt double.
But you gotta admit that E3 trailer did more harm to that game than good.
I mean, you would think Capcom would learn to start rushing games after Street Fighter V.
But this is the first time in years where I was kind of like, E3 was kind of behind. Like every year up until now, I've watched every single presentation. Even if I hated it, I still watched it. I might complain. This is the first time in years where I'm like,
I was happier at work than I was more happy at work than the idea of watching E3.
That's the funny part. Here's a confession to people listening. I'm unemployed right now. This is the first time in 30. Oh wait, no, I wasn't working at 6 years old. First time in 21 years where I've not worked. Like I've been working since I was 15. I'll be 37 in August. I'm telling my age. I don't care. Whatever. This is the first time in forever where I had the time, kind of, sort of, and I still didn't look. I had a job before. I was well paid. I worked for Fortune 500 companies. Like, I'm not saying I was bling bling, but I made a good living. and I went out of my way to take time off or sneak to the side. And for the record, I didn't get fired. People like, oh, he sneaks aside, he got fired because he's stupid. No, I got laid off because my job moved states. I'm not moving to Kentucky.
Wow.
I am a black man mixed, but a black man. You could take it however you want. A black man living in Kentucky is not exactly conducive for productivity, and you can take that however the heck you want to take it. Point is, I had to leave my job. I got a severance, and it was good. And I had the time off, and I had very little interest in E3 this year.
I didn't watch any of the conferences. I only watched Nintendo because it was 25 minutes.
I didn't even finish. And truthfully, I watched the presentation. I didn't even watch the Treehouse. Like, this was my laziest E3 in like 10 years, easily.
You know, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I did not watch all of E3. I got the highlights off of like IGN and Polygon after the fact. The only people whose stuff I watched were Devolver Digital's because it was like 30 minutes and Nintendo because it was 25 minutes. And I didn't miss anything because I found once I went back and like read the things and saw the thing, I'm like, Microsoft bored me, Sony bored me, EA bored me. Like the only here's the thing, Nintendo did more in 25 minutes than these other people did in hours of content.
And that is very sad. Because as much as I'm a huge Nintendo fan, I'm a gaming fan first, and I always try to give the other a chance. Like, I always watch the Sony presentations, even if it bores me to death. I mean, like, this is the first time I didn't watch the full Sony presentation. It's not the first time I've watched the whole Microsoft presentation. Like, it was just so lackluster this year. Like, my enthusiasm went way down, and I don't know if it's my own emotions, but from what I'm hearing, I know I'm not the only one. It's sad. What is happening to gaming, yo? Come on.
Well, I mean, the saddest thing about this year's
enthusiasm.
Well, the saddest thing about this year's E3 is that, like, this is the first time I've ever seen someone produce, like, talk about new hardware, and it's still just some of the laziest, most boring stuff I've ever seen before in my life. I'm like Microsoft actually came out on stage and talked about all these specs for the Xbox, for the triple Xbox, and you really think about what they said, and you look at the list of games that they're coming to the system, and there are no exclusives. Everything on that system is either going to be on the Xbox One, in its 3 upcoming iterations: the 1S, the original, and the triple Xbox, and on PC. So it's like you have no exclusives. That's ridiculous.
I don't understand something about you guys. You guys are gamers, but I see you guys are kind of negative towards E3. But isn't E3 supposed to be like? I always picture E3 to be like this special time for gamers, like. I
know you're probably being partially facetious, but I'm gonna answer your question anyways.
No, I actually always.
Well, I said partially because I know you're being serious too. Take time for it. Like, even this year, I told my wife, like, this is E3. I told her up front, it's E3 time. She knows I don't ask for much. I'm very humble. I may not seem that way to you guys because I'm very hyper and outspoken. But in my real life, I'm very humble. Like, my family comes first. I grew up in a messed up situation, so I overcompensate because now that I have a new family, I want the best for my family. Like, rotten. Don't get me wrong. I'll stomp him into a little bloody spot if he pushes me wrong, but that's because I'm weird. But but if my wife or my son needs anything and I can do it, I will bend over backwards and do all kinds of crazy stuff to make them happy. That's how I am. But E3 is that one time. E3 and Carnival, because I'm a Trini. E3 and Carnival is one of the only times of the year where I'm like, I don't care what anybody else is doing. It's E3. I'm going to watch video games, trolls, and advertisements. And, like, I don't know what's going on, but I will find a way. If you need me, I will help you. But this is E3. And she knows that. She knows when E3 comes through, I'm going to retreat to my man cave and watch videos and nerd out and geek out over awesome games that are coming, or awesome systems that are coming. Even this year I did it. I just didn't do it as much as I normally do. But I told her up front. She'd be like, nah, it's E3. That's all I have to say is E3, and she knows what's up. Same thing for Carnival. August comes, I'm like, Carnival time. Jump up, massive. I'm being silly, but yeah. But E3. One more time, E3. But this year, I didn't feel the spirit, bro. I know what you're saying. I didn't feel enthusiasm, and maybe I'm wrong, and please feel free to change my mind, but I didn't feel it this year. I really didn't.
Well,
No,
it's not that. You know what it is? Like, okay, I'm gonna answer it just from my point of view, contrarian. Okay, E3. Here's what people have forgotten about E3. E3 came out of the roots of the consumer electronics show.
Yes. Sorry.
It's there.
See, you're pointing out how old we are, but continue.
Yeah, E3 is not for us. E3 is where people in the industry can go and rub shoulders against their compatriots, wheel and deal, make deals, and get stuff done. They opened up E3 to the average people for about 3 or 4 years. I was lucky enough to go to one of those, and it's not for E3 is not for us gamers. E3 was originally built for people to wheel and deal, talk with their compatriots. It's like when you go to a professional conference.
It's a networking convention.
Yeah,
basically,
it's a networking
this is what we came up with. This is what we want to do.
Yeah, it's not for Joe Blow, average fix it. Now, here's the thing.
More of a media event.
No, it's not. They fooled people into thinking it's a media event. It's not. E3 is for the industry to. It's a big break your hand, patting yourself on the back about how awesome you are, and assure your shareholders you're not effing up with these new products. That's what it is.
The truth of the matter is E3 is a networking convention amongst the companies.
Yeah, it's for the industry. It's for the industry. It's like the gamers GDC. GDC is not for gamers. GDC is for developers. It's a developers conference. It's so that they can talk with their peers about how they're making games, what new techniques they're coming out with, what new shit they're coming out with that they might want to steal from each other or inspire each other with. It's not for Joe Blow gamer. Now, gamers can watch it and see where the industry is going, but if you're using that as a bellwether for things, you are going to be sorely mistaken, which is why it's so unusual that a company like Nintendo basically has created this stuff that's going to focus primarily on the gamers, which is weird. They're like, okay, this is what's coming out. Boom, 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 boom. Here's some more information about what's coming out. That's weird because before it was a big circle jerk about, hey, look at this. We've sold 100 million units.
Yeah, but even some of the parts
that's the whole us getting entitled again. The truth of the matter is that E3 is about these companies can do amongst each other. We found out about it, and we just went over the top with how we felt about it. And eventually they were like, you know what? This is a great way to mold these idiots to fall in. So let's make it even more hype than we always do, and let them spend tons of money with pre-orders and everything else, and we can make more money. I'm exaggerating, but that's basically what happened. Originally, E3 was all about networking amongst the companies. This is what we have an idea for. We think this is awesome. Are you in? That's what it was. And we just blew it way out of proportion. It's the same thing with Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook was originally for colleges and big companies, and now everybody's on Facebook.
And now they're fooling people. Like, I mean, because, okay, look, as someone, I'm not a marketing major, I'm not a business major, but as someone who has been in private, as someone who's been in private industry and has seen marketing, like, you can look at the little buzzwords. Like, before E3 began, like, I was like, yeah, Microsoft's going to come out and talk about power, 4K. They did. I didn't see their notes, but I knew what they were going to go for. And here's the thing, okay? Microsoft is betting that people will spend $500. Well, actually, when you include taxes on where you are, between $525 to $560 on new hardware. It's going to fail. And I guarantee you in the next 2 years, they're going to reduce the price of that shit and be like, oh, well, we're taking a hit on it. But, you know, look, the triple X box, we're done. We're done. We're done. Like, remember, TikTok 3 crosses in a row?
I will say I am hyped because I'm Edo-Senin that I can finally say I want a triple X box.
Okay, go for it. I wouldn't get one.
No, truthfully, no, but okay, I was being silly, but let's be real. You know, as a real gamer, as myself, because I call myself a real gamer. You can take that however the hell you want. If you have a complaint, come to my face and say it, but that's a different conversation. Never buy these type of systems at launch.
Nope.
Period.
No. I would tell it
will probably ridiculously be overpowered, but it's not going to be balanced. I guarantee you, at least within the first 3 to 4 months, there's going to be all kinds of glitches and patches to fix things.
Well, not just that, it has no exclusives. Like there are no games on the system that are exclusive for the triple Xbox.
I wasn't even gonna go that route. I was just saying just from the beginning. I'm not even getting into the details. I'm just saying the system, period. The point of the matter is this is to learn idiots that want the best of the best. This is for the gamers that are always bragging about how better their systems are. This is for the guys that are saying my system runs 4K. I'm like, you idiot.
If you have a 4K, if you have a 4K TV,
1080p and everything else, located how big your screen is and how close you are to the screen, you can't even tell the freaking difference.
And is 4K going to make that game play any better? This is because 4K is not going to fix broken code.
So truthfully, 4K is nice, but I think the most important focus is frames per second. How fluid is the game? And I know
they can't do it.
I know people don't care because I'm an old school and I play on 8-bits and blah, 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 blah. But I've been around enough to understand gameplay, fluidity, and content are the 3 most important things in any game. How well does the game play? How fluid does the game play? And the actual content. Those are the holy trinity for me. And I will fight anybody over those 3 holy trinity.
Actually, I couldn't hear right. What was the holy trinity? Because my computer.
The holy trinity for me is fluidity, gameplay, and content. How fluid is the game?
Those should be the most important part of a game. Actually, like I never think for some reason. Graphics seems as such an important thing, but for me, it's actually the part I care the least in the game. Like, as long as a game can bring enjoyment, why how it looks doesn't matter.
Because the thing is, it can be prettiest thing on the planet, but if it's stuttering all the time or loading all the time, that takes a massive blow to the game. I'd rather have a subpar HD game that flows beautifully than have a perfectly beautiful game that every time I turn around, I gotta wait for it to buffer or load or some other nonsense. I'll take a 720. I'll take a 720p game that flows perfectly over a 1080p 4K game any day, if it's fluid.
Yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. And here's the thing: they keep on talking about resolutions, but they can't even get a game to be 60 frames stable.
Exactly.
They can't.
That's what get out of here.
It's like you can't even do basic stuff like that. Then why should I?
It's like sit your monkey butt down, have a seat. You don't even know what's going on.
That's basically how
talking
I feel.
Are you guys talking about angry studios or slightly mad studios or more mad studios?
No, we're talking in general. Yeah, we're talking in general. They can't, like, here's the sad thing. They can't even get, like, okay, we had more 60 frame solid games during the 5th and 6th gen than we have now during the 7th, 8th, and 9th gen.
That's sad. This is a fact. This is sad. What happened to our standards, for real?
They're so desperate.
They're so low.
Actually, haven't you noticed most gamers these days have become really hype-driven more than actually caring about the medium themselves? They care about the hype surrounding it. Like they hype themselves up for these big games only so the hype can just last 3 months after release and they forget all about the game and move into another hype.
Yeah.
I kind of noticed this trend with this E3, and I don't know. I'm beginning to think legitimate gamers are becoming more rare and rare as time goes on. Like for you guys, what makes a legitimate gamer?
I was not about to say, what is it? You just said it right there. What is a legitimate gamer in the first place?
I think it's somebody that actually enjoys the medium, and for at least for me, it is somebody that actually enjoys the medium and I relies mostly on his own taste into game and does not rely on hype, social media, and all that crap to form a gaming opinion. And actually have balance, like they don't have a like myself, even though I am more Nintendo oriented, at least I have almost every console on this planet except the Xbox, because each can offer something the other cannot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a very mature attitude to have because they're they're so-called gamers now who think that everything should be like, well, you know, I should only have to buy one console. It's like, yeah, but it's never been like that. There's always been different things that each console offered, and that was just the way it was.
It's called variety.
Yeah, that's a dirty word.
I know it's a weird concept because everybody's like exclusive. Sorry.
Wow, what the hell happened?
No, it's not.
How dare you talk about exclusivity? Yeah, that's evil. No, I'm joking.
You as a gamer, I don't know. This is what pisses me. This is what annoys me. They've been so brainwashed. I'm like, listen, a real gamer wants to enjoy as much as possible of any type of content as possible. Like these guys have gotten so fooled and tricked into believing that this type of game, as long as you have this type of game, it's the best game, and you can only play this game on this system and this. Nah, you're a goddamn sheep. I to the slaughter. You're so goddamn stupid. Get out of here.
You took the words right out of my mouth. It's something I've been hating about gamers these days. Is like this sheep-like mentality where if you will see gaming YouTubers. Let's see, you can watch like 10 of them, and you can almost tell 10 of them will have almost the same exact opinion of a certain game. And if you go to the comment section, most gamers will just regurgitate popular talking points about games without having them experience, without them playing them or experiencing them themselves.
Yeah, they talk about how their game is on this system, but they won't buy it. It's just bragging rights for a box they never play.
Yeah, and see, and I think personally, and maybe because I'm an old school gamer. Sad reality is I've learned a lot of old school gamers have fallen into this same dichotomy, which is very disappointing. But a real gamer just wants to enjoy good games, regardless of the platform.
Yep.
Period. If it's a good game, a real gamer will buy a whole system for one good game. I mean, it's a little naive, but it's the truth. If it's a really well-planned game, fleshed out, really, like, I'll be truthful. 99% of the reason I'm getting an Xbox One is for Sunset Overdrive and Killer Instinct. There's other games, but those two are the main reason I'm getting an Xbox One. And you could call me naive or stupid, but I guarantee you this. I will put more hours into that game and have more enjoyment out of that game than most of the people talking shit about me getting that system for those games. That's a promise.
Why, of all the things to pretend to be, why a gamer? Why pretend to be a gamer? Like, it's not like it's gonna get, you know.
And yeah, that's another thing. Being a gamer has never been cool.
Yeah.
It's become a status now. Like my nephew, I argue, and I'm annoyed because I'm a grown man, and I argue with my nephew. One of my nephews, he's 16 years old, and he's like, don't get me wrong, I love him to death, and I give him his props. In the games that he played, he's a beast. But he's a dude bro gamer. Most of the games, he do play a little bit of World of Warcraft, he'll do a little bit of Diablo, but he's mostly a run and gunner. He plays, freaking, I can't even think of the games right now.
Call of Duty,
Battlefield. He play Overwatch, stuff like that. He's damn good at it. But that's pretty much most of what he plays. But he'll call me a casual, and I'm like, dude.
I'm like, Junior, you probably like, Junior, you don't even know what the hell you talking about, son.
Sleep, do you play when you're awake?
Yeah.
Actually,
you want to know what casual is? Casual are people who play games that the mass market is playing because their friends are playing it. You want to know what hardcore is? Hardcore is when you were a kid sneaking that old brick Game Boy to school and saying, can I go to the bathroom? Like the last 5 minutes of class. Exactly. You go to the bathroom and play Tetris.
In your Mario World, the Tetris, and you play
that was
Chrysalis.
Well, you know what you should do? You should pick it. For his birthday, you should give him Divinity Original Sin. Like, if you think I'm such a casual, play this.
I'm like, Junior, so casual here, kid. Play this. Play Contra.
One thing I can give my nephew, don't get me wrong, I can still recommend a lot of games, but he really is a good gamer. Like, he is really good. Like, I can't even front. Like, certain games, he will absolutely destroy me. I can hold my own in almost any genre because I've been playing forever. I've been playing since 1987, 86. Yeah, I think 86. Maybe 85. Over 30 years. And I'm not saying I'm the best gamer ever, but I can hold my own in most genres. I'm better in certain genres than others, but I can hold my own in just about anything. And there's certain games he destroys me. But he has a narrow field. And I'm like, I'm not saying the gamers play everything because, I mean, everybody has their own personal taste. You consider yourself a gamer, you need to at least be open-minded enough to try different things. And a lot of what I've seen of these so-called real gamers these days, 3 categories. They play some type of mobile, tactical, something RPG. I thought RPG was hardcore, but these days, no, it's not. If it's a mobile game. So they play either these battle games, first-person shooters. They play these modified tactical RPGs, like Clan of Wars and stuff. Or they play crap, I can't think of it right now.
Open world sandbox games.
Yeah, you nailed it. Boom. Thank you.
Yeah, but open world sandbox games are still one of the few, ironically, they're one of the few genres that are still kind of a little bit hardcore. Because think about it, like in an open world game, you can still run into areas where you're totally unprepared for and get wrecked. And it's your fault because you weren't powerful enough,
Right. But that's the thing. That's if they actually do it. Let's be real. These guys are so heavily dependent on strategy guides and tips from everybody else. Like a lot of these guys, these are the two things. They're either so reckless it makes no sense, or they're so safe it's just boring. Like us, back in the day, we used to be like, let's fight Cthulhu. I'm saying it wrong. And he's like level 2,008,000 HP, and we try to beat him. That's how we were. These guys would be like, don't get me wrong, we still use strategy guides and stuff, but it's just like, I don't know, it's like they nerf everything. Everything is a thrill, but there isn't. They're either reckless or they're too careful. We were just reckless.
Yeah.
Or we just strategically were reckless. You know what I'm trying to say?
Actually, people in this community mostly know me because, like, I sometimes have really bad taste in video games. Like, I like games that are mostly hated, but the thing is, for some reason, I can find enjoyment in almost every game. For some reason.
So what?
Contrarian. Your name is perfect, and you know what? That's what it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, enjoy your games. I mean, it's great if you find people that have similar tastes, but first and foremost, enjoy your games. Let's be real. Before I met some of you guys, there were games I played that I was just embarrassed to play, but I would still wreck those games and have a goddamn good time. But luckily, I eventually found people that felt the same way I did. But either way, I still kept playing and I still kept enjoying. Because games are meant to be fun. I think people are too caught up in social aspects. Social aspect is a bonus. It's not the main base, and that's the problem.
Well, I mean, if you're playing a single-player game,
social aspect used to be an additional factor. Now it's the main factor.
yeah, if you're playing a single-player game, social aspect is inconsequential. Something having multiplayer or online multiplayer or local multiplayer. Local multiplayer used to be king because that's all we had. And if you didn't have, if your friend couldn't come over, your friend were grounded, or your friend got a whooping for messing up and he couldn't come out, you just had to play that shit by yourself, and that was the end of it. And so I don't know why people are like, oh man, if I can't play with my friends, you ass just gonna have to play the single player. That's how that goes. That's how we were back in the day. None of this. If it doesn't have multiplayer, then I'm gonna throw a hissy fit. But that's neither here nor there. I think we strangled this concept, this topic. We've killed all the topics. So anyone has anything else they want to add before we wrap things up?
Yeah. What's everybody picking up on the Steam sale? Because I only picked up 2 games. I'm kind of wondering what else is worth picking up.
I didn't buy nothing. My son just got a friggin' couple $100 car because I'm an idiot.
Let's see. I got Dragon Quest Heroes 2 for like $40,
Nice.
which is not cheap. Like really, Square Enix charges too much for those damn games. That game now should be like
Let's
30.
be real. That's normal for Square. I've been looking at that too. I mean, you Bravely Second is still $60.
Yeah.
Is there any good,
for
like,
a game. What the hell?
Is there any like good RPGs that worth picking up on the Steam sale?
Well, here's what I'll say. A lot of the RPGs on Steam are not what I would call
Quality.
Yeah, they're kind of like
You nailed it. Sorry.
like okay, all of the really good RPGs on Steam I already have, so it's like there's nothing I really want to purchase. I mean, do I want to take a Valve hardware survey? Sure, Valve. I'll take a Valve hardware survey. But I mean, like, I don't know if there's anything that I really want to. I mean, I have most of the RPGs that are really on that's good on Steam. I mean, there's Streets of Rogue, which is like a roguelike where you beat up people. I mean, like, And here's the thing: all the RPGs that I would really tell you, okay, get Starcrawlers. Starcrawlers is $15. It's really good right now.
All right, I'll check that out. What about any other genres of games? Any other games worth picking up that you would recommend?
Flint Hook is good. Here's the thing: Steam's sales aren't that good anymore. They used to be awesome. They aren't anymore. Your best bet to get really cheap games and not pay a lot for them is Humble Bundle.
Yes.
Humble Bundle is awesome.
Bundle Stars is also pretty good too. Yeah. And
Bundle Stars.
There's a lot of decent places out there where you can get sales all year round. So, like the whole waiting for
shuffle. You're right.
The whole waiting for a Steam sale now is just kind of pointless.
No, Steam is okay. Steam sales for Christmas, awesome. Steam sales for Thanksgiving. Steam when they have really good sales, but the thing is that the games you really want don't have really good sales until like a year after. Like you don't get them the year of. You wait the year after, but most people don't want to wait, which is a problem.
Well, that's the perfect thing. That's why. See, this is the problem. If gamers were more patient, we would have better games on the market. A lot of these companies are lazy and they take advantage of gamers being impatient.
I gotta have it now, yeah.
If we actually were more patient and had higher standards, the gaming community would be much better than what it is.
I like to get in near Automata, but that game's broken on PC right now.
We need to just be more patient and considerate, and we could fix the market. But the problem is, as you already know, we're all impatient idiots. Well, not all of us, but most of us are impatient idiots.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If you're like me and you love JRPGs, like old school style JRPGs, here's a little something to help you get through that and not spend a lot of money on it. RPGmaker.net is a homebrew website where homebrew people make games. And I know some people say, how dare you? These people are homebrew people. Here's the thing. A lot of the people that make homebrew games eventually put those games on...
They eventually become third parties themselves.
Well, no, they put them on Steam. They put them on Steam where you can purchase them. So you can get in early and get these awesome games. And I mean, some of them are really good. Like one of the best RPGs I played like 10 years ago was this game called Romancing Walker that was part dating sim, part traditional RPG, and it was really well made. And it was friggin' made with it was made by a hobbyist. You can get right now you can get South Park Stick of Truth for $7.99. That's a great deal. That's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I want that second one though. I want when the second one comes out, I'm getting that on PC. I saw the demo for that, and I'm like, I got to get that game.
Is there any good side scrollers out there as well? Like, is there any
side scroller beat 'em ups or just
side scrollers in general? Like that you recommend?
Broforce is fun.
Actually, speaking of indies, can I ask you guys a question? What do you guys think about Bloodstained Ritual Tonight?
I don't like the way it looks.
I don't think it's going to be very good.
Yeah, when I first heard about it, I was kind of skeptically optimistic, but now I'm like, we'll see. That game just something about that game just screams to me, yeah, this isn't gonna fly. Well, I won't go as far as what your guys are stating, but I will say I will wait. Like, my enthusiasm has petered out dramatically. Like before, when it first came out, like, okay, let's see what happens. Now I'm like, let's see what happens.
So here's the thing.
Real quick, guys. I'm really pushing it. I should have left.
All right, yeah. That's why I was gonna say give your sign out and then you can bounce, dude.
Actually, me too. Me to go too because it's rather late and my not feeling well.
Okay then. So we'll let Shep go first and then you go second and then we'll wrap it up.
Hey guys, I haven't been around in a while. My apologies. Real life is more important. No offense.
That's
I
true.
love gaming. I hope everybody's having a damn good time. I know, live, learn, love, and all that cheesy stuff. Game on, and do not let anybody make the decision for you. Play your games, love your games, enjoy your games. If you're playing
Alright.
games to be cool or to be enjoyed, then you're not playing it the right way.
That's a revamp of do you play games to have fun or to impress other people?
More or less. I've always thought that. I just didn't say it the same way he did.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you. I definitely play games to impress other people. To hell with having fun.
Who plays games to enjoy it? Screw that.
Yeah,
Let's just
man.
be
I
cool.
ain't trying to have fun. Shoot, what's wrong with you? Okay, Contrary, your turn.
Well, I'm the contrarian bastard. I'm mostly a regular here. Well, I'm not in a big mood to like say a big sign up, so I'm just going to say, well, I just like gaming. That's all.
Good enough for me.
I'm kind of depressed today by my PS3 dying, so
Well, you have a Switch, man. You'll be
Wait,
fine.
PS3 or PS4? I'm
PS4,
confused. I thought it was a PS4.
PS4.
Man, you got a
That's
Switch. You'll
sad.
be
Your
fine.
PS3 outlived your PS4. That's sad.
Actually, my PS3 is in a wonderful conditions.
Yeah,
That's
that
what I'm
was a better
saying.
made.
That's
That was a
sad.
better made. That was a better made console.
Well, they say, to be honest, before, but they did say that this is a problem that affected first generation PS3 console.
Bro, let's be real. It's the PS4 and the Xbox One came out early. They were not supposed to come out when they did. That's the truth.
They were
People-
rushed.
all the-
They were
all
rushed
these-
because they were
the
like, we can't let
fanboys-
Nintendo
the
have this shit
fanboys
alone.
deny exactly. The fanboys deny it. Real gamers look at it and be like, "Listen, the Wii U threw a couple people off. They panicked and they tried to overcompensate." I'm not saying the Wii U is the best system, but it is the most balanced, completed system.
So both systems were rushed.
The PS4 was not supposed to come out. That's why the later iterations of the PS4 was better, because that's the original what PS4 was supposed to come out in the first place. And this is what the Xbox One was supposed to be in the first place. These systems came out too early.
So I paid
They
the
panicked
price.
and they had to throw something out on the market.
I paid the price of being a first early adopter.
Yep.
And I'm disappointed in you because from what I know of you, you've been gaming for a while, and that was a foolish move on your part.
Yeah, to be honest, that was a phase when I was more of trying to impress my classmate on college. So I bought one because everyone was buying one in college, and I got
All
it.
right, so this is the rule. You need to go outside right now, grab a beer. I'm gonna take a massive paddle, and somebody's gonna beat you, and you say, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?"
Well, I'm kind of independent. How do I say? Becoming more.
No, you're not independent because you just proved that you weren't by what you said before that. Don't you can double back? Nope.
Okay, I don't know what someone's playing, but it's remarkably loud.
Sorry.
But with that, I mean, we got to wrap this up. Chef,
Seriously, gotta go, guys.
I need to
Yeah, I
go.
really gotta go,
we
guys.
got to bounce. Kanoshi and Joel give your sign offs, and I'll go last, and then we can all, prepare for our 4th of July if we want to.
Well, this is Kenoshi Abominito. I'll be working on the 4th of July, but I'll get double pay, so it won't be all bad.
They give you double for eating up your holiday, and that's good.
Plus the cafeteria, plus the food in the cafeteria will be free that day, so that's even that's pretty decent. But anyway, it's been good to be on the BS Busters. Sorry I was late. I was having another phone call. So
It's okay, dude.
Yeah.
It's all right. Joel?
Take care, dude.
This is the Major Gaming Jewelry Line Moonstar saying happy gaming and citrus fruits.
Oh, you. This is Mr. Red Fox. This is Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor of BS Busters. Stay tuned. Next week we'll do another one. I don't know what it's going to be about. It depends what happens, but there's always going to be BS to bust. So you can depend on BS Busters every Sunday, 7 o'clock p.m. to hopefully 8:30 p.m. Look forward to that. Good night. Enjoy your 4th of July. Eat all that barbecue and ribs, and don't burn down your house grilling. Bye.
So make sure to